Pennies and Pets, it's your girl, Loud Pen, CEO of ISLP, the InkSpot LLC, back with Penty, OT7, Monsta X. My bad, y'all. My memory was totally full on my phone, and so the camera literally just stopped recording me. So I'm just gonna make this an unofficial part two because the first part was so dope, and I don't want to re-record it. So I'm just gonna piggyback off of that. So, anyways, going back to like I was talking about how I believe that 1O leaving has affected Juhan, is that I feel like him and 1O got along so well. And I also feel like, like because they're both amazing songwriters and producers, and in my opinion, again, I don't know these people personally, so I don't know and I can't say for sure, but I just feel like they worked so well together. And I feel like 1O leaving just really, really hurt and upset Juhan. And I feel like he just wasn't okay. I feel like he wasn't okay. I feel like he wasn't okay, and I feel like he just started to really get back to being himself. And it's definitely something that I felt recently, and even like when they had done a recent interview with Zach Sang, and he had brought up, that, because it was 5 members, obviously, in the interview, because, Shanu's doing his mandatory enlistment, and then 1O is not currently a part of the group. And so I remember when Zach was like, oh, you guys are now down from 7 to 5, I remember there was this awkward silence. And I just, because they have never really talked about it publicly, because for whatever reason, I guess, like in Korean culture, K-pop culture is something that they don't really talk about, but it's weird. Like, I'll be honest, like for me as an international fan, it's weird, and it's something that I don't get, because it's so obvious that he's no longer a part of the group. So just like not talking about it and not acknowledging it in some ways makes it worse, because it's just like you're pretending like it didn't happen and it did. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, even when I shot my Why I Love 1O video yesterday, I like literally talked about like, no, he originally debuted on May 14, 2015 with Monsta X, and then he debuted as a soloist in September of 2020. And I think that's important to say, like, even as a weenie, because like he wouldn't be as popular as he is now as a soloist had he not debuted with Monsta X first. And I think you're just literally being delusional if you think otherwise, So anyways, that's just my opinion on that. But I was like, I wanted to talk about how I feel like it has affected Juhan, because he just seems like he just now starting to get back to himself. And I feel like him and 1O got along so well. And I feel like there were probably so many late night songwriting and studio sessions where they would get together and do that and just work so closely with one another. And I feel like Juhan was just not okay. He wasn't okay. And again, there could have been plenty of other things that were happening in his personal life that could have upset him as well. But it's just so closely tied into when 1O left. Like, it's like 1O leaves the group, and then all of a sudden, Juhan's not in this promotion, he's not in that promotion. It just, the timeline makes sense. Like, he was in all these other promotions, but suddenly during that period, he wasn't in those promotions. And they did say, he's taking some time off to take care of his mental health, which I absolutely believe in. Okay, I believe in, regardless of what they have going on in their lives. Yes, they are famous K-pop idol superstars, but everybody needs me time. Everybody needs self-care time. Okay, and so I just feel like in general that's something that they should make time for, and all of that. But I feel like the timeline of Juhan not participating in, like I said, that Monsta X home party, and then the All About Love promotions, like, it's just so closely tied into when 1O left. And then keep in mind, 1O did participate in some of the All About Love content. Not only is he on every single song on the album All About Love as far as his vocals, he also helped participate in the songwriting and production on a lot of the songs that are on All About Love, and was in a couple of the music videos that are also on the All About Love album. He's in the Someone Someone video, and he's also in the Someone Someone video. Who Do You Love? That's the other music video that he's in. Those songs are from the All About Love album. So he just was such an important member of the group. And they're not, Okay. So now let me talk about I Am and how it's affected I Am. So now, obviously, if you're Mom Bebe, you know I Am is the maknae, which for those that don't know, kind of like Korean culture, K-pop culture. So the maknae is the name of the youngest member or the youngest of the group, if I'm saying this correctly. Hopefully I am. And so, and then the Hyungs are the oldest, right? So I Am is obviously always been the baby of the group. That will never change. But recently he was doing like a radio show interview or something, and he said that he has 6 Hyungs, right? Which, Hyung means like older brother or a man that's older than you. And so he had said, I have 6 Hyungs, and then he corrected himself, like, I have 5 Hyungs. And then like me and all these other mom weenies were like, no, you have 6 Hyungs, you have 6 Hyungs or whatever. And I'm like, no, seriously though, you have 6 Hyungs, or you have 6 older brothers, okay? And like, and so like, for me, like when it comes to like I Am, I feel like him and Wano also had a closeness. Same thing with Juhan as far as like them being like the songwriting and production team. Hangwan has also written songs for Monsta X as well. Kian has also done some songwriting as well. But like I just was like, oh my God, like I feel like him and Wano were so close. Like they were so tight. And like I Am just always saw him like as like this older brother type and somebody to really like look up to. And I just feel like it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. And I feel like that all 6 of them have always like protected I Am, and like, obviously like I Am because of like how he kind of came into the group like on No Mercy and all of that, which was never his fault. But so maybe at first it was like hard for them to be like accepting of I Am because he came in later and on the show and stuff like that. But like I feel like because what was so cool, or what is so cool about I Am and his personality that I truly respect, is that he really understood, like, it was weird for him to come on to No Mercy, like, at the end of the show. You know what I'm saying? But just like them, he wanted to debut, too. He has dreams of creating in music and being an artist, and that was his way to do that. And so he wanted to be in the group. But, like, what is so cool, that a scene that I love is from No Mercy, when Juhan is basically like, wait a minute now, like, you done popped up. Like, did they promise you anything? Did they tell you that you was going to debut and stuff like that or whatever? And I Am's like, no, never. You know what I'm saying? Which I do believe, that nobody told I Am that he was going to debut. But I do believe that behind the scenes, whoever the powers that be at Starship are, did know that they wanted to specifically bring in I Am. They just didn't tell him because they didn't want him to get the big head and be all cocky or whatever. But I really do believe behind the scenes, somebody was like, no, we're bringing in I Am. Because Gun is epic rapper, but just doesn't really fit in a idol group. He needs to be solo. And then the other rappers that were on the show, they were dope, but I just don't think that they really fit like Monsta X. And so anyways, in that scene, when Juhan's like, did they promise you anything? Did they tell you it's going to debut? Blah, blah, blah. I Am's like, no. And I Am's like, I understand where you guys are coming from. It is awkward. I'm just glad to be talking to you, to be talking to somebody, and you guys can open up to me when, where, and if, and how you want to. Like, he just didn't push them to be like, hey, I am, and be my best friend. He wasn't like that. He was very chill And it just ended up happening organically. And I feel like now that it's like all these years later, I feel like now all 6 of them will fight you over I am. Like, seriously, like, I remember watching. It was like, I think it was on Universe, and they asked I.M. to pick like who his favorite Hyuns were, and he picked Hongwan and Minak, and Keon was fucking pissed. Like, Keon got up and tried to walk out, and I remember watching it like, oh my god. They like fight over him like this is so dope. Like, he was so mad. Like, he was genuinely pissed. And like when you see them on what's the show that they do, Midnight Idol, the Never Now, like I feel like Keon is like I am is like his baby, and I just feel like they don't play when it comes to I am, and like I am always tries like because he has more of like a mature like personality and stuff, but like at the end of the day, if you want baby, you know I am smock day this will come out from time to time. And it's so cool, but I had to, I guess, say that and kind of like lighten the moves. We talking about more of a serious topic that none of us can control. We can't control if Wano reunite with the group, but that is what I pray that happens. And I kind of feel like, and this is just my weird Mon Weenie conspiracy theory, but like I really feel like they kind of dropping some hints. Cause like literally just now before I started re-recording this video, I was on V Live, and like somebody who I always see like constantly post like a lot more in Wano's solo channel had posted in Monsta X's channel as well. But they posted a screenshot of Wano's most recent live, which was literally from yesterday, where he's holding like a little tiger stuffed animal and then like a little bear stuffed animal. And then they're like, I love these 3. And then like everybody's commenting like, I love these 3. And I'm like staring at the photo and I'm like, why would Wano go live and then like specifically hold a tiger stuffed animal, which Juhan is a split between the tiger and the honeybee. And then Bear is absolutely Shanu. And then he is Bunny. I'm like, are they like you again, it's like this is my random conspiracy theory. I don't know these people. But I'm like, are y'all like dropping hints? Like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's just my OT7 heart that want them back together so bad. I'm just looking for stuff. Because the 7 of them are so powerful on stage. And, and to bring back my PR, because y'all know I have my own business. And even that's what I do for a living for my full-time gig. But, like, from a PR and marketing standpoint, like a reunification of OT7 would seriously be a big deal. It would be such a big deal, and it would be something that has literally never happened before in the history of music, because usually once a member leaves or somebody goes solo or whatever the case is, they just don't ever get back together. Like it don't ever happen. And in the case of OT7 Monsta X, it would seriously be something that would break the internet. Like nobody would be able to, it would just be like, wow, and real quick, another thing I want to say is I want people to stop. I don't like how certain members of both fandoms, Monbebe and Weenie, have in some ways tried to establish the split. When I say that, what I mean is literally there are weenies that are literally in Wano's fan board literally saying, don't post about Monsta X. Don't post anything about Monsta X. I'm not saying come into Wano's fan board and say, happy Shanu Saturday, because today's Saturday that I'm shooting this. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if you come across a picture of Wano and Shanu Why can't you post that in Wano's channel? Why not? He used to be in Monsta X. So we just gonna pretend he was never in Monsta X. That's what we're gonna do. So 2015 to 2020 of his life, or no, 2015 to 2019 of his life, that didn't happen. Oh, okay. You know, going to my babies, the my babies that don't acknowledge Wano. What? Y'all, he was in the group. I know he ain't in the group right now. I know that. I'm well aware. But he was in the group. Okay? And it's weird. Stop trying to cause that split. And a lot of the reason why people are causing that split is because they basically have their own biases. The weenies that don't want you posting about Monsta X, that don't want you to acknowledge that Wano was in Monsta X, are basically Wano biases. So that's why they don't want to acknowledge that he was in Monsta X and that these are his 6 brothers. And then with the my bebes that don't want to acknowledge Wano, they want to just act like it's always only been 6 members. No, sweetie. No, sweetie. It ain't like that. So I had to make sure I say that and call that out because I don't like that shit. And I'll be blunt, because I literally saw a weenie had commented on one of my posts and said, "Oh, you posting in the 1.0 channel?" Because I'll be honest, I don't post in the 1.0 channel like that. I post in the Mambebe, Monsta X fan channel a lot more, and that is the reason why. Because I don't like how there's a lot of weenies that just act like we not supposed to acknowledge the fact that he was in Monsta X, and I don't like that shit. Because I'm an OT7 stan. And so that's why I spend a lot more time in the Monsta X fan board and post more there. I really will only post in one of those fan board during comeback season. I'm just going to keep it real. And that is not because I don't support him as a soloist and solo artist. It's because in my mind, he's still a member of Monsta X. So when you do a solo comeback, cool. I post in his channel. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I would much prefer to post in the Mon Bebe channel. So those are my thoughts on OT7 Monsta X. Take it or leave it. You pretty much have to because the comment section on my YouTube channel is in fact disabled. So, and that is why. So I have to hear from people that trying to argue with me about my thoughts. This is just my thoughts and opinion. You guys, take it or leave it. I don't know any of these people personally. I cannot control what happens in the future. But the future that I would love for Monsta X, and I'm going to end this video here, is to say that after all the enlistments are done, because obviously all 7 of them have to enlist. It's mandatory as per South Korean law. All Korean men have to enlist in the military for 2 years. So now that we know that Wano's enlistment is now imminent, it's going to happen as soon as possible. And then the final 5 will have to go as well. So I pray that after all 7 of the enlistment seasons are completed, that they then get back together as OT7, start their own label, and have full and complete creative control. And that's not a criticism of Starship or Highline, because they have done amazing work for these artists for the past 7 years. I am just saying that I think that the songwriting and production capabilities of Wano, Juhan, I.M, Hungwan, and even Keon, because Keon can write his ass off too. And I believe Minak and Shanu have it in them too. I would love to see Shanu really sitting down and writing some songs. I really would, because I feel like Shanu could really put together these powerful songs telling the story of how hard it has been to be the leader of one of the world's most popular K-pop groups of all time. Like, he could really put together some shit. And then whatever he's gone through in his personal life as far as dating, love life stuff, I feel like he could just really put together some amazing work. But yeah, that is my prayer for OT7 Monsta X. So I decided to go ahead and create and shoot this video so I could go ahead and put that energy out into the air. Maybe they'll see it. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. But either way, my OT7 heart is now happy. So thank you so much for watching the unofficial part 1 and then the unofficial part 2 of Pennies OT7 Monsta X. I really appreciate all the support. Have a beautiful day. Peace.